Now let's look at building some customer mailing labels using the Mailing Label Report Wizard. Making mailing labels out of our customer data is real easy. Let's click on Reports, and today we're going to use our first wizard. So let's click on New. Let's select Label Wizard. Pick which table or query you want to get your customer mailing information from. Let's pick Customer T. But it's important to note right here that if you only wanted to send mailing labels to customers from New York, you could pick the customers from New York queue. You'd have to go back to this query though and add the address, city, state, and zip fields, because right now we only have the state field. But that's how you can make a report that is based specifically on a certain set of data. Just make a query for it first. But we're going to go ahead and pick Customer T. We're going to send mailing labels to all of our customers, and then click on OK. And here is the Label Wizard. If you want to make mailing labels, you want to use the Label Wizard. The Label Wizard is a good wizard because you don't want to sit there manually laying out labels. It's a big pain. So the first thing you should do is pick your label manufacturer. Now, I generally use Avery labels, but if you drop this box down here, you'll see there's a whole bunch of different ones. Avery is pretty much the industry standard, and if you buy generic labels, like from Office Max or Office Depot, they generally have an Avery compatibility number. You may also need to pick between English and metric. Here in the States, I'm going to use the English numbers, and I'm looking for the Avery 5160s. Let's scroll down the list here and see if we can find them. 5160s, here they are. Those are the ones where you get 30 on a page, where you get 3 columns, 10 rows. Those are the most popular mailing labels. So once you find the mailing label size that you want to use, go ahead and click on Next. Next, you're asked which font and color you'd like your text to be in. This is Arial 8-point, and then light with black text. I'm going to stick with this and click on Next. Next, we're asked to create a prototype label. In other words, we're going to tell the wizard what fields we want on the label and in which order, and then it will build all the labels for us. So basically, what do you want your label to look like? Well, I want first name. Hit the little button here to bring it over. And then I want a space between the first name and last name, so I'll hit space on my keyboard. There's a space. And then last name. Hit the little button. To move down to the next line, press Enter on your keyboard. Company name. Bring it over. Don't worry, if there is no company name, Access won't leave a blank line there. It'll skip it. Enter. Let's come down here and find address. Enter. Notice how I double-clicked instead of clicking on this little button. City, space, state, space, zip, space, country. And there we go. And yeah, if you want to put a comma in here, you can. You can just simply click there and stick a comma in. I'm not going to, though. When you're happy with your label, click on Next again. Next, you're asked if you want to sort by any particular field. Let's say you want to sort by zip code. If you do any bulk mailing, you have to sort by zip code and then by address. If not, you don't have to sort them. Click on Next. What name would you like for your report? Well, let's get rid of this one and put in here Mailing Labels R for report. What do you want to do? Do you want to see the labels as they will look when they be printed? Yeah, that looks good. So let's click on Finish. And there we go. There's our mailing labels. Now notice my mouse has turned into a magnifying glass. If you click, it zooms you out so you can see a preview of the whole page. I can then click again to zoom in to any one particular area. And there we go. If you have more than 30 labels, which I do not, you can click on the navigation buttons down here to go to the next and previous pages, and so on. There are some nifty buttons up top here. For example, this drop-down box will let you zoom in or out, so you can zoom out a little bit to 75% or in to 150. This little button here is kind of neat. This will export your labels to Microsoft Word. Let's say you want to make some changes here and there, or you want to customize them a little more. You can actually export your labels to Word or Excel. We'll talk more about this in a future class, but go ahead and play with it if you want to. When you're ready to print, just hit the printer button over here, and it'll send it right to your default printer. Or you can click on File, and then Print ... to bring up your printer dialog box where you can specify the number of copies and other options for your printer. I'm going to close this printer dialog box for now and close my mailing label report. And now I'm back to my database window. Now, once again, the beauty is anytime in the future that I or another employee wants to generate these mailing labels, all we have to do is double-click on the mailing labels R. You, the Access developer, have done all the work. All we have to do is run the report, or run the query, or open the form.